Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Bobby. You know, I've got to tell you, of all the things that I've enjoyed at this new teaching academy, and trust me, there's lots, there's hardly anything more satisfying than helping people increase the distance they hit the golf ball. You know, chipping and putting and pitching and short game and all these things about course management that help improve your scores, those are vitally important if you want to be a good player. But on a personal level, there's not much in golf more satisfying than being able to hit the ball farther, particularly if you had gotten to the point where you just thought it was impossible. Maybe you're on the downslide, that the only change in your distance has been a loss of distance, and then from there actually pick up speed. So fun. It's so fun to be part of that process. Now, the trouble with most people is that they're trying to get more distance by swinging harder, when in reality they need to learn to swing faster, and those are two different things. A hard swing would be something that you would do with a sledgehammer, trying to drive a stake in the ground. That's a hard swing, and it's characterized by being strong in address and strong in impact and anticipating impact. Now, a fast swing, there is no impact. The fast swing exists whether a ball exists or not, whether there's anything to hit or not. A fast swing has no anticipation of the moment of impact. We're not trying to snatch some heavy object off the ground. We're just swinging fast. The ball gets in the way of that. It takes off like a rocket. Now, there are lots of things to that, and I'm going to illustrate exactly how that can be done through a little story of a guy I just had in this weekend. And I bet you can see yourself in this person, and if not, then there's still something in here for you to glean, so tune in here with me. I had a guy call me and said, "Hey, Bobby, you probably don't remember me, but I got a lesson from you. You're the first person to ever put a club in my hand 6 years ago, back when I was living in Dallas, but I came to Horseshoe Bay. You gave me a 1-hour lesson and a 9-hole playing lesson. Just so you know, I'm a 6 handicap now. After that lesson, I went out and started practicing, and back home, I started taking lessons, and I'm coming to the resort. Now he lives in Houston. I'm coming over this coming weekend. I want to get another lesson with you, and I want you to see my swing now. You won't believe the difference." And I'm thinking, I don't remember this guy at all, really. But he came to the resort, and as soon as I saw him, I did remember him, because he did something I could never forget. Now, this is a guy who played baseball in high school for 4 years. He was athletic looking, just one of those guys who could just move fast. I'm sure he could jump high, athletic. And he swung a baseball bat, and he had tremendous club head speed, even though he'd never swung a golf club. He'd swung a bat before. And the reason I won't forget him is because on number 2 at Ramrock that day we did an hour lesson and then played 9 holes or 10 holes at Ram. He hit a ball on number 2 that cut the corner. He only had 70 yards left. I've never seen a ball in all my years that ended up that far down, that close to the green on number 2. He had 70 yards left. A long hitter would hit it between 150 and 100, somewhere in there left of the green. He had 70 yards left. I'm like, you kidding me? Now, he wasn't a good player. He wasn't skilled, but he could, if he connected, he could rocket it. So now I'm seeing him, and he says he's a 6 handicap. I'm thinking, man, this is going to be a show. Now he's got skills. I want to see this. Well, I got him in here. He started hitting 8-iron, warming up, told me what he's working on. And he's hitting that 8-iron about 155 yards. Now, I'm expecting 210 or 215. I mean, this guy was a launcher just 6 years ago, and he's only 26 now. He was 20 then. And then I'm watching this, but I don't want to say anything. So later on, we start hitting the driver, and his swing speed's 101. He's flying the ball about 250. Now, that's not a puny effort, but it is compared to where he was and what I was anticipating. I'm going, are you kidding me? So finally, I said, hey, don't take this the wrong way, but have you lost your superpowers, man? He says, I know, man. Didn't I used to swing a lot faster? I go, yeah. He says, I've gotten shorter every year. I don't know what the deal is, man. He says, I'm a better player, but I just can't hit it. I said, do me a favor and really crank on this next one. Really, let's see how hard you can swing if you really let loose. Maybe you're just placing yourself under restraint. And he swung 102. 1 mile per hour with all the effort in the world. And that's when I realized he's trying to swing hard. Though he's become a better player through lots and lots of range balls and repetition and being a good athlete, he doesn't understand swinging the club, creating speed, being fast, and not hard. So, after our hour lesson, we were going to go play another 9 holes, and I said, hey, listen, we can go play 9 holes if you want, or we can sit in here for 2 hours and work on your swing speed. I bet I can get you back where you were. He said, oh, man, do it. Let's do that. Now, the process that I took him through is one that I could take anybody through and has proven successful. Now, some people aren't open to it. They just have it in their mind that it can't be done, and they tend to judge the worthiness of the process based on the outcome of the first swing. If the first swing isn't faster, they give up, they clam up, and they can't take in any more information. They don't realize that there's just a different way they have to think of this in order to tap into the relaxation that's required to swing faster. Let me take you through the process. I said, Len, that was his name, Len, here's what I want you to do. I want you to forget that you know anything about golf for a second. I want you to pretend like as I put this thing in your hands, that this is the first time you've ever seen this instrument. And the only thing I want you to do with this instrument is create a swish. I want to hear that thing swish right out in front of you, just like you do with a baseball bat. Now, be mindful. A swish is not the same thing as a swoosh. A swoosh is whoo. The sound starts here, the air displacement sound starts here, and it carries all the way to there. There's no speed in that. That's early acceleration and never really top end. A swish happens in an instant, right in front of your left leg. Let me see you swing that club like it's a ball bat. Now, when I handed it to him, and sorry about the light, but I hope you can still see me. When I handed it to him, I saw him do this. And I said, no, you're already acting like it's a golf club. Don't grip it any certain way. This is what's... You've gone through 6 years of trying to adhere to all these fundamentals, and all you've done is stolen from yourself your sense of swing. We've got to get your swing back. You don't treat this like a golf club. Treat it like it's the first time you've ever seen it, just like you did 6 years ago, and just make that thing swish. Now, the very first one, he swung something like 104 or 5. I can't remember, but it was better than he'd done gritting his teeth. He was just trying to create a swish. And then he went 107. Then he went 109. Then he went 112. Now, here's what happened at 112. The next one after 112 is what I expected. He went all the way back to 106. Why? Well, because there becomes a point when you're starting to enjoy progress where you're thinking, okay, 112, I'm going to beat that. I'm going to have to swing harder. And that's just what they do. They swing harder. They grip the club at the top on the transition. And by tightening, you can't just tighten your grip. If you tighten your grip, you're going to tighten your forearm. If you tighten your forearm, both your bicep and tricep as well as your deltoid is going to be tight. Everything's going to be tight. Everything's going to be slower. You're going to feel stronger, but you're not going to go faster. Strength does mean something. But it's not hippopotamus-type strength. It's deer-like strength. We want to be able to move fast, not with strength. We don't want to be a slow-rolling machine. We want to be a fast-moving, whoosh, a swisher of the club. Now, after 112, we got that thing up to 115, and then finally up to 118. Now, in my view, that was 2 hours. In my view, if we fight another day with him, we can get him up to 125, because that's where I think he should be based on the length of that drive that he hit 6 years ago. But he's got to be open to it. And there comes a point where you find it hard to continue to relax. Relaxation is a skill. And it's something that has to be applied to hitting a long drive, increasing your club head speed. And it has to be learned. And it has to be conditioned over time. And if you're in a habit, meaning if you've been doing this for a long time, it's hard to break the habit of swinging hard, particularly when you're trying to swing hard in order to get distance. I just swung 118. I'm probably going to swing harder on the next one instead of faster. So there comes a point, and I'm sure he's going to advance to that. Now, when I put him back on there and started hitting golf balls again, he went from flying that thing 248 yards, 250 yards, to 285, 286, and that was wonderful. I just love that, and of course, he loved it too. And so if you're the type of person who wants more distance and thinks you can't do it, you've got to find a way to swing faster, not harder. And you're only going to do that by, number one, learning how to create that swish. If you can't create that swish without a golf ball, then you can't create it with a golf ball. And once there, then you're going to have to start seeing piece by piece the parts of your body and putting them under notice that tend to get tight, and learn to loosen them. Breathe a breath of relaxation into your shoulders, into your arms, into the transition at the top. If you pull down, if you grab that club and pull, you're only slowing things down. Okay? And so if one person can do it, then others can as well. And so if you're looking for more distance, I would love to help you. And if I can do anything else, please let me know. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week.